Alright, back now with Ground Man stage. So we're going to get this on with, and Ground Man continuing the theme of having several large phallic objects implanted in your shoulders. But anyway, his stage reminds me a lot of the Sandopolis levels from the Sonic games, or Sonic 3 and Knuckles I should say. I'm going to turn on the auto charge button so I don't have to worry about manually charging it. I'll get rid of that later on when I actually go back and grind some screws and have some more weaponry or more upgrades that actually sit in the active slot rather than all the passives. And we got Santa's little helper down there guarding a CD. Could go for it. I'm just going to speed run this section, get down to the bottom and get on with it. The sand down here, yes, it is actually quicksand. Yes, it will kill you if you go too low in it. It's a one-hit kill, much like the spikes. So that kind of blows. And it also sucks down the enemies at least, but not completely. Just makes them harder to hit. Bastards, especially when you have to roll through or slide through an area. So now we have the giant red centipedes of clicking, clacking doom. And there's a lot of them, and they continually respawn. There's no way to stop them from coming back. The trick is to kill one and run between slots really, really fast. Or slide between them is probably the safer way of doing it. You'll see me fuck this up a lot in here by not realising what's going on. Particularly like there, where one of them came down on top of me and I didn't realise it was even going to be there. What I should have done is gone up to the top left and hidden behind that. But seriously, who the fuck designs robotic fucking centipedes and then puts them everywhere? Again, gotta move fast, you gotta get up on top. Too slow. Don't need the weapon energy anyway, so I just fucked myself there. And that one's a bastard. What you need to do is slide under there and come up, or if you're base you can move fast enough to get away without it, just jump straight up with the dash. Now despite the little boss doors, this is not actually a boss fight, it's a mini boss fight with a even bigger, even meaner centipede that looks like something out of Alice in fucking Wonderland. And his giant slobbering jaws everywhere. Easy way of dealing with this one, he's only vulnerable when you can tap him on the head. Everywhere else will do no damage whatsoever. So, pretty simple, you just run to the left or the right and shoot him repeatedly. The only thing is his hit detection's a little bit dodgy, I should compared to a lot of the other bosses. You need to score a direct hit on his head and only on his head. If it so much as clips the second part of the body, it does no damage, as you see right there. So yeah, I fucked up a lot of these strikes. It is, however, a rather pain in the ass fight. Not because it's hard to dodge all his attacks, it's very predictable. It's just that you're running about 50-50 on whether or not your attacks are even going to hit in the first place. And then he comes up with these little bullshit allies to help him out. However, killing them is useful because they drop power-ups. So, you know, genocide on the little worms for great power-ups. Anyway, rather redundant boss fight, particularly since he will often spend large amounts of time at the top of the screen where he can't effectively hurt you, but you can't really hurt him either. So, you know, pain in the ass right there. And honestly, if I was playing a little bit better, this boss fight probably would have taken about 1/3 the time. Anyway, continuing on, because seriously, fuck this goddamn centipede so hard. I didn't even know if one physically could fuck a centipede, even one as big as this, but the thought is there. So now we're back to part 2 of the stage. This one is effectively split into about 3 spots. Going up, these floors will dump you down if you stand on them too long. So the trick is basically get through. Doesn't matter what tricks you have to pull, just ensure that somebody else is the one who actually gets hit. Or nobody gets hit, but that's a little bit beyond my Mega Manning skills. So now we've got Sniper Joe who's back. There is a trick to get rid of these guys relatively effectively in this area of the stage, which you'll see later on. So we run ourselves across here, keep running, and we find ourselves up top with another Sniper Joe. The easy way to get rid of him is to trigger the rolling on his platform, because he'll fall down to the next one and be stuck there. You can just run back over the top. because Sniper Joes are apparently idiots who can't walk or climb. So I don't know what... I'm assuming if they weren't robotic, they would in fact starve to death in relatively short order. And now you see the Mimic chest just ripping me a new one and costing me the power-up I wanted there. But you need the flame weapon to actually get into this Bass chest, which has the CD in it. I got this one completely by accident. If I'd known there was only a CD down there, I probably wouldn't have bothered. So, jumping, 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 up and across, and now another boss door, which is not actually a boss door, but the key to the second area. This area gives you a false sense of security. What happens, excuse me, is that every statue you kill raises the spike level slightly. So you have to get to the end killing as few statues as possible. If you don't kill the red statue, the exit doesn't open. So as you see there, the way to do it is to knock off the red statue somehow and then go underneath the bottom. If you knock off even 2 unnecessary statues, you're stuffed. 1, you can sort of get away with it if you're a good jumper or if you've got the spike guard. 2 will get you killed, simple as that. And as you see there with the red one, if you don't kill them, it doesn't open the exit to the area. And this is sort of the last non-boss area, and the reason it looks so weird is because the game doesn't necessarily use those doors to differentiate between boss and non-boss areas. It also uses them sometimes to mark the part where the Megaman and Bass routes significantly diverge. But anyway, now we get to the real cunt section of this level. It's a jumping section, except that the enemies will gradually eat the platforms out from under you. And they respawn. Now they can never eat the entire platform, they'll always leave you the one segment to stand on. However, that one segment isn't really a lot of space a lot of the time. Particularly not when they respawn and keep fucking you up. So, which leads to situations like this where you have to get into a shootout with a Sniper Joe and your only method of dodging is vertically. Which can be a bit of a pain in the ass right there, but anyway, we're through that section, and now it is actually the boss section, so we're going with the remote mine. Groundman is weak to the remote mine, not for damage reasons, but for reasons you'll see in a second. See, a lot of his attacks involve jumping up into the ceiling or similar. If he has a remote mine attached to him, when he does that, it will detonate and knock him back down. He also has this giant diving spike attack, but what I find highly amusing is, aside from the phallic connotations of having 4 giant throbbing spikes thrust down at you, it actually does less damage than an individual spike in the stage, which would of course be an instant kill. This is the other reason for using the remote mines. You can attach them to the wall where you think he's going to pop back up, hit him, and it will force him back into one of his other attack patterns. So aside from him trying to dive bomb you with a giant throbbing spike, you're pretty much okay. As you see right there, if you can pop him up behind him, you can take a hit before he actually gets to do anything to you. It's a matter of prediction, but when it works, it makes the boss fight exceedingly easy relative to what it would be with an actual direct fire weapon. It's one of the only good uses of an ambush style weapon I've seen in a Mega Man game, actually. But we've beaten him, and we've got the spread drill, which is not helping the phallic connotations of this any bit whatsoever. And so now we're going to take it, we're going to go fight Tengu Man next. The boss order for this one pretty much works. One of the initial 3 bosses, top one of the unlocks, bottom one of the unlocks, next lot of initial bosses. So we're going to go fight Tengu Man, and we're going to bring him back down to Earth with what appears to be some sort of giant sodomizing weapon.